Let's call the meeting to order today. Today is July 8th, 2025. Roll call by department. PD,
Calvin Haygood.
Fire,
Casey Wilson.
Planning,
Johnny Land.
Public Works,
Juan Olmos.
Engineering, Daryl Jordan, that's myself. Please remember to unmute your microphone when you are speaking. Laura?
Members of the audience who wish to address the traffic committee are asked to submit a request to speak form located at the podium at the back of the council chamber and submit it to the clerk, ideally before the item is called. Speakers will be allowed 3 minutes. Please identify yourself and your city of residence. If you intend on using technology for your presentation, please leave a copy for the record. Avoid repeating what previous speakers have said, and if 2 or more individuals are present as a group and wish to speak on one side of an issue, please select a single spokesperson to present your views.
Members of the public who wish to speak on any matter not listed on the agenda may speak during this portion of the meeting and will be allotted 3 minutes. Please identify yourself and your city of residence. The committee will not take actions on any item that is brought to their attention at this meeting. If it requires action, it will be referred to staff and are listed on the next traffic committee agenda. Laura, do we have any requests to speak forms?
We do not.
Okay. Would anyone like to make a motion to approve the consent calendar?
I move to
Do we have a
approve the
second?
consent calendar.
Second?
I'll make the motion. I'll second.
Okay. Oral vote, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against?
Aye.
That passes.
Item E, reports. At this time, it is appropriate for any committee member to give an informational report of any work completed, training, or other items to share with the other members. Please be brief, and no action may be taken on these items.
Anybody want to add anything before we get started?
Nothing to report from the fire department.
The planning department is undergoing our general plan update. I encourage all community members to reach out, participate if you're interested. This is a blueprint for the growth of the city for the next 15 to 20 years, so it's a pretty big deal, but that's something that the planning department's been involved in.
Thank you. PD, anything?
Yeah, I would just like to add, we have added one officer to our traffic unit, Officer Gary. He started on Monday. He'll be working full-time in the traffic unit now. We also have our auxiliary motor officers that go out and do traffic enforcement as needed, but it'd be nice to see the impact that he makes with reducing collisions, which is one of our priorities this year.
Thank you. Public Works.
Just a quick report that the Streets Division has finished painting all the stops throughout the city. And then this week, they started painting school legends and crosswalks around all the schools.
Oh, fantastic. Engineering, we want to thank Laura for filling in today and doing double duty. She's doing a great job today, and we appreciate her being here.
Okay.
Business?
Item F, business. F1, request 25-23, requesting stop signs on Cali Street. Citizen shares concerns explaining how there are no stop signs on Cali Street at each intersection. Citizen states there have been multiple crashes and is requesting stop signs be installed at each intersection along Cali Street, coming from the courts located on the west and east side of Cali Street.
Anybody wishing to speak on this item today in the audience? Mister, you in the front? No? Okay. I'll bring it back to the committee then to discuss. Any comments from committee members? If not, I will ask PD, but anybody else? Okay?
I mean, it's a fairly new subdivision.
Okay.
And I think that it was just designed the way it is. I don't think there's a high volume of traffic in this area. I think that if there are speeders there, obviously, or it's people from the neighborhood, this is not an area where there's a shortcut to get to anywhere. You know, it's just cul-de-sacs. All uncontrolled intersections, you know, should be what, 15 mile per hour? And, you know, I don't know if we have any data, because I don't even know, I don't think that this subdivision is older than 1 year.
Oh,
So
wow.
I don't
That's new.
think there will be any data to, you know, to meet any warrants.
Okay. Any comments from planning or fire? Okay. PD, do you have any information on this?
Yeah, so I did look up the historical data for accidents. In May of 2024, we had a hit-and-run accident. September 2024, we had an injury accident, and in October of 2024, we had a hit-and-run accident. And those are all the accidents that had been reported in that area.
Okay.
Will that be for this one particular intersection? Because, I mean, there are like 4 or 5, you know, cross streets on this area.
So I guess the stop signs would need to, or the request was to put them at each intersection, but I'll go back. So one was at Marcus and Cali. That was the one in May 2024. And then the other 2 were at Veronica and Cali, and those were in September 2024 and October 2024.
Okay. Any other comments? For those listening at home, in order for the city to install a stop sign, we need to make sure that it meets the warrants by law to install that. And what we've heard so far today is that those warrants have not been met. So do I have a recommendation from this committee today?
I'll make a motion to deny the request due to the lack of warrants.
Do you have a second?
I'll make the second, I'll second
Okay.
motion.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those
Aye.
opposed? It passes. Next item, please.
Okay. Item F-2, request 25-24, requesting speed bump to be installed on Michelle Drive. Citizen shares concern for safety due to vehicles traveling at high speeds westbound on Arrowwood Drive, turning southbound on Michelle Drive. Citizen states they have to cross Michelle Drive to collect their mail and are afraid of being hit. Citizen is requesting a speed bump to be installed on Michelle Drive to slow down motorists.
Thank you, Laura. Anybody in the audience wish to speak on this item today? Seeing none, bring it back to the committee for discussion. Anyone like to comment on this request? Do we have any data in this area?
Yeah, so I conducted a records check in this area as well, and for Michelle and Arrowwood, along with other streets that Michelle intersects with, I found that there had been 0 accidents reported. This is probably something that can more likely be dealt with by traffic enforcement rather than putting in a speed bump.
Juan, is this an area that PD will be refreshing any of the striping in this area?
I'm gonna say that probably it didn't happen here. It's a fairly new subdivision.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and the markings there should be thermoplastic, so they probably were not touched up.
Okay.
They're pretty visible.
Planning, any comments?
No comments from me.
How about fire department today?
Nothing from the fire department.
Okay. Those listening at home, it is good to note that when a residential street requests a speed bump or hump of some type, we do request that they get 100% approval by that street of all the owners on that street, and that the owners will participate in the cost of that installation. So if that's something they want to further pursue, they can contact the engineering department with a list of all the signatures of the people on that street that are approving this action, and also their approval to pay for the installation of this item as well. But for now, do I have any direction from the committee today?
I have a
Yes,
comment.
go ahead. Yes.
Arrowwood in that area there where they're allegedly, you know, driving, you know, high rate of speed going westbound. Since all that is under construction, new developments getting there, I don't remember if there is a speed limit sign on Arrowwood itself going westbound. could that be something that we can, if there's one needed there, that we can have the developer install there?
If it hasn't been accepted yet, we can ask them to do so, unless it's already been accepted.
Well, I think the southern part where this is already been accepted, but the development is still going on the north part.
It's something we can look into, Juan. I know residential streets inside subdivisions don't typically even have speed limit signs on all of them, right?
Yeah, I think Everwood probably for like a collector, I'm gonna say.
Okay, collector would.
Yeah, because there is
Require
no
one.
the houses facing that.
Okay. I tell you what, Rick in our department is watching over a speed study that's going on right now.
Okay.
And since he's here today, I'm going to ask him to note that and take a look at that, what the speed study suggests on that collector, and make sure that we get signage for that, so.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
I noticed that part of this, the comments on this request refer to a blind corner. I would be interested to know why, if it's because of vegetation, if it's because of fencing, why there's a perception that it's a blind corner.
It's not shown in the attached pictures, is it?
No.
Well, I wish they were here today to comment on that, but we don't have them here today. I don't see anything blocking the vision triangle there that's required at the corners. Anybody else seen something I'm not seeing?
No, I was there earlier today.
Okay.
I mean, I was driving, I did not walk it. I did not see anything out of the ordinary or anything that caught my eye. You know, I could have missed it, but I didn't see anything.
Okay. So it sounds like what I've heard so far, the only remedy is to have maybe the traffic team take a look at that area for speeding, perhaps. Keep an eye on it. Okay. Do I have any direction from the committee at this time for this request?
I move that we deny the request, the speed bumps.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Okay, looks like we're done for today. Do we have a motion by a commissioner and a second to end this meeting today?
I move that we adjourn.
And a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Meeting is adjourned at 2:13. Thank you, everybody.